Hey everyone! Welcome to one of our videos. Again, we're just sharing our secrets to our happy marriage, and today we're going to be discussing discipline, and this is child discipline within the home and how we deal with it. So when we were discussing discipline in our home, before the kids even came along, because I understood that we came from very different backgrounds, and for me it was important to meet somewhere in the middle when it came to disciplining and understanding Jazz's style of discipline or what he expects, and also my style of discipline, and explaining to him so we can then agree on
each other's styles of how to bring up the kids and how to discipline them.
That's it.
If they were to be naughty or
And again, discipline is another one that causes a lot of arguments because one parent might feel like the other person is very harsh on the kids, and the other person might feel like the other parent is just too soft.
Too lenient.
And if it's something that you haven't discussed about, this is something again that can cause disagreements, it can cause resentment, it can cause fights within the home, and
because you haven't agreed what the style's going to be like. So you need to agree on a discipline style beforehand.
That's it.
So because you can't say, okay, you're too weak, so you don't say anything.
That's it.
You tell me, and I'll either beat the kids into line, or
I'll
shout at them, or I'll definitely use a naughty step every single time.
Yes.
You know, like almost over authoritarian sort of parent, which is like, no, you're gonna do it the way I say.
Yeah, like
my
military style.
Yeah, my way or the highway.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really work, because you find a lot of those kids end up
being terrible,
either off the rails or they hate their parents. So, so I don't want my kids to hate me.
No.
So I mean, in regards to me, I'm definitely the more laid back, permissive parent. Like I tell them I love them all the time.
Yeah.
Like I always show the affection.
Yeah.
I'll tell them to not do things, but they'll just look at me and say, "Yeah, really, Dad?"
Yeah.
And then laugh off.
I know.
They'll run away laughing and think, "Yeah, Dad's not going to do anything."
They don't take it seriously
until I get angry.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh my god, like then it's like you're overreacting.
That's it.
So I'm not. My discipline style is probably not refined in that way.
Yeah.
Whereas
but that's something that we talked about, isn't it?
We talked about, because I said to her, I don't think I'll be that strong with the kids.
Yeah, and
we did talk about this
beforehand. The bad one, isn't it?
Yeah, we talked about this beforehand. Remember, like before we had the kids, we were laughing about it. I'll probably end up being the lightweight, and then I'll be more like lightweight for it, and they'll laugh at me, and then I'll turn around and get angry. That's what ended up happening, because I probably just haven't developed a structured way of discipline for kids. Whereas with Primrose, you're more authoritative. You're very authoritative. Like, you love the kids. You tell me you love them, but you put them in the line when they need to.
For me, I again think definitely consistency is important. I want the kids to know what I expect, what flies and what doesn't, and they're not sure. Are they sitting on the line? Is it this way or that way? They know every time it's like that.
Yeah, there's no grey areas for the
kids.
There's
no grey areas. And when I say something, I expect it to be done, because they know when they're being naughty, because I don't accept that behavior any other time.
That makes my life so much easier, though.
It does. I'm telling Mom, and
I love it. It makes my life easier. I ain't gonna lie.
You know what? It makes my life easier as well, because guys, you've seen the video where we took the kids out to Tesco, the supermarket, and that was a Saturday. And the kids, you didn't see them crying for toys, you didn't see them throwing tantrums, you didn't see none of that, because I have communicated that very well to the kids. I believe in talking to the kids and explaining to them, like, if we go out in a public area, if you want something, you can cry for it. I do not accept tantrums. I know people say like, oh, there's terrible twos and stuff like that, and I was like, not in my house. There's no terrible twos.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't think so. No.
The thing is, we always, whenever it comes to disciplining, if one or the other parent is disciplining, we don't jump in and undermine the other one.
No.
That we spoke about it from the start, because I said to her, look, babe, no matter what happens, if I'm telling them off, I don't want you to jump in.
That's it.
But I do want you to tell me afterwards if I've gone overboard or if I've done something, so I can rectify it.
That's it.
Because it's not, I don't want to be acting a way where I might change my kids.
Yes.
Like affect their personality or something like that, which can happen.
Yeah.
So what I would say is agree on the style, and definitely agree on not butting in when the other one's disciplining, unless it's abuse, because then you need to stop that. If it is abuse, you need to jump in straight away.
Yeah.
But other than that, you need to just remember, stick together. Don't let the kids divide you, because as soon as you get divided, then you think, wait a minute, as soon as mum says something, dad jumps in and says, "Oh, leave them alone."
Yeah.
And then, "Oh, I can play them off now."
That's it.
Kids know that because you
it's divide and conquer.
So like my little boy does it with me. He'll come straight up to me, try and get a cuddle when mummy's telling him off.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, "Come here." I go, "You mess around, mummy. You know you're gonna get in trouble." I just tell you that straight. So I say, "Look, don't look at me now. I can't defend you." I say it straight to the kids, don't I?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have messed around with mummy.
Yeah.
I go, "I ain't gonna defend you. I'm not getting killed for you." Take a bullet for me, Dad, you know what I mean? I'm not doing that. I'm not getting in the way. No, but it's true. That's how it is.
Yeah, but the way I see it is like, you know, you understand. I don't use the naughty step all the time. I don't. You know what? Because I'm so consistent with what's expected and stuff like that. The kids rarely ever
need discipline in that way.
Yeah, need disciplining.
And when you say no, it definitely means no. And we always, and that's another thing you need to remember.
Yeah.
If one of you says no, the other one can't turn around and say yeah.
Yes.
For example, or vice versa. You can't say no and the kids nag you and you feel sorry for them because they're crying and you give it to them.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No.
I've had it where Havana's come up to me and she said, "Look, Daddy, can I have a chocolate?" And I've said, "Look, if you want a chocolate, there's only one person in charge here. Okay, you better go and ask mummy.
Yeah.
Because she's been at home all day with you. I've not been at home. Let's go and ask mummy. Did you ask mummy?" "Yeah, I did." "What did mummy say?" Mummy said, "Yeah, okay, let's go and ask mummy then."
Yeah.
"So, babe, can she have a chocolate?" "No, she had one today." "Okay, you told me." She said, "Yeah, no, you can't have one."
Yeah.
So
but she said yes earlier.
Yeah, but she said yes earlier. Like they're just hoping that you don't go and ask.
Yeah.
But I'll always make sure that she is the one making all the decisions in regards to the children.
Yeah.
Because that way you can't argue by it.
No.
Because I don't want to say, yeah, give her the chocolate, and then all of a sudden she sees Havana eating chocolate, and now you're arguing because you haven't gone and asked the other partner, whether it be male or female.
Yeah.
You haven't gone and asked the other one, "Look, did she have chocolate or he have chocolate today?"
Yeah.
Because
it's about not undermining each other and stuff like that. And the thing, like I've noticed, and again, like we always say, like observe other people and see what you can do differently, and observe and also see what they're doing well and copy that.
That's it.
So from observation, I've seen that kids are very clever. They're very sneaky, and they know ways of getting around, and they can end up playing you against each other, that you end up fighting, and you think, hang on, why are we fighting each other when we should be a unit?
Discipline styles can cause, again, arguments and problems within your relationship if you don't agree on it beforehand.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I would say is that when you're going to discipline your little one, like, be careful that you don't, like, if you're very, like, strong and stern, just remember, as I said, you can end up affecting their personality. So if the kid is very, say, like, Phoenix is really boisterous.
Yeah.
And he's very loud, likes running around, jumping off the couch.
He's crazy.
And I'll be like, "Look, Finn, stop, like, stop doing it." And he doesn't listen to me. Obviously.
You're going to get hurt.
Yeah, you're going to get hurt. Primrose, "Oi, boom, stop." And straight away he's like, "Okay," and he sits down. So, but the thing is, you don't want to get to a point where maybe I'm getting up, I'm physically smacking him.
Yeah.
I'm shouting at him.
No.
I'm like saying, "I'm going to make sure that you stop being so boisterous." You can't do that because
that's his personality.
Exactly, that's his personality. I don't want to kill his confidence.
That's it.
Because I might end up killing his confidence, and again, the kid's gonna grow up hating his dad.
Yeah.
I don't want kids to say, "Yeah, I hate my dad. I hate my mom."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. So remember that, like, Havana's very sensitive. Now with Havana, you honestly only have to say 2 words and look at her sternly. She starts crying.
Yeah, I'll be like.
So I can't turn around and be abusive, angry, slap her. Imagine what I'd do to that kid's confidence.
You could break it
I'd
so
break
easily.
Her. She'd go quiet. She'd have no personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
She wouldn't say anything to anyone.
Yes.
She'd go to school. She'd be nervous.
Yes.
I don't want that. I want my kid to go and talk to everyone at school and be very confident.
Be themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, be themselves.
And that's something that we also spoke about a lot. Like watching disciplines within our own family settings and how different personalities were affected. Because like parents sometimes just like think one rule applies to all kids, and it's definitely not like that. No. Like with Phoenix is a very proud child, and I understand that because if you discipline Phoenix in public when other people are watching, he gets very upset. And so I understand with Phoenix, if I'm gonna discipline him,
you don't want to do it in public. Like
you need to take him aside somewhere and speak to him one-on-one because he's very aware of other people watching him. He gets very upset, isn't it?
Yeah, he's funny like
yeah, he's very upset.
He'll sock and then he'll hide behind my leg or mummy start him off.
Yeah. So it's like better like Phoenix, come here, we go our way somewhere and say like, you know, why are you doing that?
And he apologises straight away.
And it's very good,
He says, "I'm sorry, mum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, daddy."
Because again, when you're telling them off, sometimes it's better to ask them, why are you doing
you
what
need to explain why you're telling them off as well. You can't just shout at them and say, you need to say, "Look, this is why I'm telling you off because you did this."
That's it.
And it's not acceptable.
Yeah. And I'm telling you off, because if you carry on, you're gonna hurt yourself. This is why I know you're having fun, but I can see that if you carry on doing what you're doing, you're gonna get hurt. And then it's like, oh, okay, I can understand why mommy's saying what she's saying. So yeah, so definitely thinking about how each child is like personality wise and dealing with them according to their personality.
So you don't affect them, their upbringing.
You don't want to break their spirit, because like again I said, like when I grew up, my mom was very heavy handed, so I'm very much aware of what being heavy-handed can do to a child. I was more like a personality like Havana. I was very quiet, and people thought like if they told me off, if they smacked me hard enough, I was gonna become more active and more of a loud child. I was just quiet. I didn't like talking to anyone. And in my culture, that's a bit odd. Like, why is that kid always sitting by herself? What is wrong with her? And people think like either you're being proud or you think you're all that. That's why you're always isolating yourself. And it's not that. My personality is like I like being by myself. And so being aware, like, my child's temperament is like that. I need to make sure that my style of discipline is different to this child. Havana's style of discipline is very different to Phoenix. If I tried to be as soft as I am with Havana, Phoenix would just think like,
you wouldn't have none of it.
You just wouldn't get through.
Listen, So with him, you have to be a bit more like
louder and a bit more like, come on, stop what you're doing, and be a bit more facial.
But like, again, like I said, when you discipline, then always remember to show them a lot of love afterwards.
That's
so I always tell them, look, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, Daddy loves you. Look, Daddy don't want to tell you off, but so I love you. And then at that point, we forget all about it, and we just go and play and have fun.
That's it.
And you don't want to, and that's the biggest problem. A lot of people, as soon as the kid's been in trouble and say they've resolved the situation, they'll still try and almost make the kid feel bad about it the whole day, maybe even weeks, maybe. So you need to not do that, because that again will affect the child.
Because again, like we discussed before, like forgiveness is one thing that we teach to the kids. And so we say like, okay, once the discipline is over and mommy is not upset anymore, I then go over to, let's say, Havana or Phoenix.
Look, I love you.
Bring her here. I'll talk to her like, mommy told you off because X, Y, and Z. Do you understand? And then she can say whatever she has to say. We kiss, we cuddle, we hug. That's the end of it.
That's it,
That situation is not going to be brought up again tomorrow, the next day, a month later. It is gone.
And you normally just go and start playing with them.
So it's like, okay, let's go and have fun.
And that's how it should be.
That's it.
Because the kid, end of the day, will respect you and love you for that. And if the last thing you want is your kids lose respect for you.
That's it.
So agreeing on a style of discipline, also being in control of yourself is so important.
Very important.
It's so important. And being structured with your discipline. So if you say that, look, okay, now that you haven't, say, done your homework, I asked you to do it, you didn't do it, I'm not gonna, maybe they like watching cartoons for an hour after before bed, then you'll say, okay, no cartoons for the next week, an hour before bed, because you haven't done your homework, and you stick to it.
Exactly.
Because they don't think, oh, mummy and daddy are mugs. As soon as they say it, they back down and they start letting me watch cartoons again.
And that's where I'm quite good at that. If I say something, I don't bribe, I don't negotiate. I only say
you stick to your promise.
I only say I don't negotiate with terrorists. If you're terrorizing the house, don't expect to come and negotiate with me. So if I say like, okay, because you did this and this is gonna happen, there is no like, oh, okay, I'm gonna back down because whatever it is. If I say you're gonna get your toys taken away for a whole 24 hours, then your toys are gonna be taken away for 24 hours. I don't say like 6 hours later because the kid is bored now and they're running around like crazy. I say, oh, just have your toys back. That doesn't happen.
Be quiet or whatever. There needs to be a better way, you know. I mean, and one last thing I think is that you should always be willing to apologise to the kids, because
100%.
if you're going to get them to apologise, why can't you apologise if you've overreacted? So if I've overreacted and say I've had a real go at Phoenix in public and he's not happy about it, I can still say, look, Daddy, sorry that he shouted at you in front of everyone. I love you. And don't be naughty in public.
That's it.
At the shops. So I've still apologised, and hopefully at that point, as he grows older, they'll get used to Daddy apologising because they apologise. So they know it's normal to be sorry if you've done something.
That's it, exactly. Because that's what we definitely say. Like, we want to cultivate respect in our home. And respect in our home is not just like we getting respect from the kids. It's about us giving the kids respect too. Because we want them to understand that respect is just expected. It's something that's earned. We earn the kids respect and vice versa. So this is something that's really important, that we actually say, you know what, I was wrong, or whatever it was, forgive me, I'm sorry, you know, and they understand that, oh, mommy and daddy also make mistakes. It's not just us make mistakes.
Definitely.
You know, nobody's perfect. We want them to understand that everybody makes mistakes. So when you make a mistake, don't be afraid, you know.
Definitely.
But try and behave as much as possible, and you know what's expected of you. And if you decide you want to go against that, there is consequences. And I know, like, with Havana, she's still small, she doesn't really understand. I explained to her, you know, like mommy and daddy cannot just go and do what they want outside in the world, because if mommy and daddy do wrong things, then the police are gonna come and they're gonna tell mommy and daddy off. And then she's like, oh, okay. So now she understands that yes, there's consequences also for mommy and daddy. So as you get older, so as you get older, there's consequences
so
outside.
You're respecting authority.
So if they respect authority inside the house, they'll understand when you go outside into the real world, you're also respecting other authorities, not just within the home. So yeah, that's really on.
That's most of the things covered, I think. On discipline. So. And
that's how much we spoke about it before we had the kids.
And we spoke about it before. I remember you clearly said to me, "This is the way we're gonna run."
Yeah, because for me it was very important to say, "This is what I think about discipline. What do you think?" Because I definitely knew I didn't want my home to be like a home that I grew up in.
Yeah,
you know
chaos,
what I mean? Yeah, with your spirit being broken and not being the person that you were meant to be because your parents are not respecting you. So yeah, definitely. So that's it really on discipline. Again, if you think we've missed out anything, just leave it in the comment section below. We're definitely appreciating learning from you guys and seeing what you've got to say. So definitely comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. We really will appreciate that because it helps us grow the channel. And on that note, we're gonna leave you, and that's it.
See you guys.
Bye. So today we're gonna be talking about communication.
Which we obviously are very good at.
I think